Hey everybody, I'm David Evans, Business Development Manager for a company called Motion Properties in Las Vegas. Welcome to the first episode, or I guess video of this series. I don't really know what to call it on YouTube. Anyways, why I'm doing this. I came into real estate because I wanted to change and shake up the industry because it's one of those things that I think is very old school, and everything that technology is going in the direction that everything's going, I feel like it needs to be implemented so it could change. Now, I can tell you a little bit about myself and give you a little bit of background and history. Now, I moved to Las Vegas back in 2009, and if anyone knows anything about Las Vegas, that's exactly when it got hit the hardest. So I wanted to be right in the epicenter of the worst place in America, and this is why. I feel in order to be experienced, you have to put yourself in like the lowest of the low, because then you kind of learn how to climb out of things. And it's that climbing that makes you a powerful person. So the reason Vegas was in a bad situation was because of real estate. So I always had an interest in it and never pursued it. I came here and I transferred to UNLV from Washington State. And at UNLV, I majored in civil engineering. Now, what happened is I tried to get mentors, and everybody was telling me the same thing. Different message, but I'm sorry, different things, but the same message. And the message was this: you're a smart kid, get out. We're hiring land surveyors and making them civil engineers by making them pass their certifications or whatever. So I thought, oh my God, what do I do? I've been planning my whole life to be a civil engineer, and I was an electrician at the time in Washington State, and I loved that. But I saw the crash happen, and I was like, I got to get out. So I had to come up with a new plan, and my new plan was let me go into business management and minor in marketing. So I did that. By this point, I'm already 6.5 years into college. No light at the end of the tunnel, and I really needed to get something going. And then I got a call from Google for an opportunity here in Las Vegas. So when that happens, you just drop everything and take that chance. And so that really turned me on to technology and kind of working for the tech industry. And after departing from Google, I went to go work for a third party company that did Google as well. And I specialized in real estate advertising. And I noticed how much real estate agents were benefiting from our services. And that's when it clicked inside my head. I said, oh my God, I get it. All those for sale signs back when I was little, driving around and seeing those for sale signs, grabbing a little flyer. You don't need to do that. And so I had an interest, and then I saw on the local, I don't remember what website it was, that there was jobs, but I actually got a job offer doing marketing for medical purposes, medical offices, or I don't remember what it was. I think it was a test, kind of like those little test clinical studies type of things, and you get people, and I don't know. But anyways, it was a cool position that paid pretty well. And then I opted out when I saw a bilingual position for a marketing manager position for one of the local realtors in town. And the curiosity and meeting this particular person, I was really turned on to the idea. So I really wanted to give it a chance and learn a little bit more about it. And right off the bat, I told him, look, I'm pretty good at marketing. I don't want to know anything about like your mindset on real estate, because if I start thinking like a realtor, then I can't even say that word. Uh, I'm not going to be able to engage with the consumer that needs to find you, because you got to always think like a consumer, and that's what I was basically thinking. And so about a year of this goes by, and same type of like success on the marketing strategies. So then I get my real estate license, and then I had to decide, what do I want to do with this real estate license? Can I do this on my own? And then I had to strategize and think of a good way to continue a career in this and become successful. Now, so what I did is I interviewed at. Okay, let's back up. So I never wanted to do real estate right on my own and just start from scratch. I don't want to do anything that way. I like being on the best. This is what my entire today because I've been coding all day. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use baseball as an example. I would much rather be on the best baseball team knowing that I have the highest chance of winning. And it has nothing to do with, the end result of winning a championship. It has to do with the fact that I'm surrounded by winners. And surrounding yourself around successful people, positive people, and people that just simply get it, that is the best way for you to just jump into anything. And this is like outside of real estate as well. So um, I did that. I went and met with a couple of teams that were hiring for positions such as marketing, assistants, basically anything. Or I didn't want to be a realtor. I never wanted to be a real estate agent. To me, there was just so much more opportunity to actually like inflate a business, grow a business, and do everything that way. Because what I noticed, one thing about the industry, and the more I knew people in my area that are very successful. They all did the same thing. Every single one of them. It'd be, "Hi, I'm David Evans. I'm a realtor. If you ever need to buy or sell a house, I'm good at it," or something along those lines. And one thing that I noticed, I was like, why is nobody utilizing technology? Everybody's doing the old school stuff. It's crazy. Let's go do an open house. Let's knock on doors. Let's pass out flyers. Let's mail stuff in the mail. And I'm thinking, like, wow, really? Okay. I remember one time when you used to want to travel. I'm from Guatemala, so when we would book our travel, we'd have to call a travel agency because they would coordinate the flights and everything. They had access to all that information, and everyone thought that was a solid business. And then all of a sudden, boom, like a click of that, Expedia came out or flight to, I don't remember what the first big one was, but these tech companies took over, completely destroyed the industry. And one thing I noticed with real estate, I was like, wow, this is all really old school stuff. You literally had to pick up the phone and say, "Hi, if you need to buy or something." I'm like, wait a second, there's a better way to do this. And so I found a company that has done over 4,000 transactions, and they were doing flips. They're doing real estate investing. They own a construction company, and they had all these past transactions. And during the interview, I asked, "What's your database like?" He goes, "I don't have one." And then, that's when my eyes like literally lit up. I was like, that is opportunity. So what I did is I took all that experience that they weren't capitalizing, letting the world know. And I said, "Hey, do you mind if I market this and position myself to be the team leader of all your agents?" And I went to the local board, got myself a real estate license, got my realtor thing, and I said, "All right, let's do this." Now, with my marketing expertise and my lack of knowledge of what goes in one of these things, this is a real estate contract. This is three sales actually, and those are all from the past couple weeks. So I was like, all right, let's try it. And what resulted is this. Let me go ahead and show you. And I've only been to this day licensed about 8 months, I want to say. And I've only been a realtor for like 6 or something. So we get this. I got this award for basically my marketing, right? My first month as a real estate agent, I did $1 million in sales. And, not even I could explain how I did that. And I couldn't think about like why would people trust me? I'm only 29 years old. I'm young. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. Why is this working? And it's taken me months to figure it out. But what it has to do with people's mindset and their faith in technology. And so the best way I could explain it is going to the bank. When you go to the bank and you need to withdraw money, do you go see a teller or do you go to the ATM? Well, most of you would say ATM. And the reason you would go with ATM is you've used it many times. You trust it. It's quick. It's easy. You only have to remember four numbers. It's private. You don't have to worry about somebody looking at your accounts and, being nosy. And you're not worried about it. I mean, you're literally getting money out of there and just being done. And now you can even deposit money on there. So I wanted to be the ATM of real estate. And so far, what I was able to develop is a website that has 3 pages, and it's buy, sell, and invest. Those are my 3 pages in the contact page. On that page, you can actually search for every single home just as if you were a realtor. You get the same access. The only thing you don't get to see is the financial information and the agent-to-agent remarks. And you can even schedule appointments and do all that and that on there. And what resulted is as soon as I started generating my leads with the resources that I already knew would work, I noticed something. And in another video, I'll show you some of my analytics and some of the back end stuff. But everybody was sold on the idea. Right now, I'm still averaging, I think, above 5.5, 6 minutes per user on my website, and that's incredible. And so I'm looking at something and I'm like, this is a prime example of something that nobody's capitalized. So, if you're thinking about doing real estate, I would definitely not go into it blind. Get a mentor. And I've had a lot of people ask me, David, I want to do what you do. I want to get into doing what you do. Can you help me? Can I shadow you? And I love to help people out. I actually joined a board, and here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of my other accomplishments that I've been able to do in this short amount of time. So I joined a nonprofit organization within Nevada, and so we get senatorial recognition. And so that's something that's super cool, and I'm super grateful and proud of. But we get that recognition for basically doing our community outreach. And one of the other things I like to do is within that organization, I get to meet a lot of people. And I hang out with a lot of people in my industry because I don't see anybody as competition. My thing is this: if you're doing everything exactly the same as the person next to you, that is what you call competition. You change the way that you do business and you have no competition. So right now, I kind of feel like I'm walking around as a like kind of like a lone ranger, going around all these places. So I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story. I'm going to keep this video a little bit short. I was at an event, and I was with about 3 or 4 realtors. There was a lady there, and it was kind of like a mix and mingle type of thing. So everybody's shaking everybody's hand, and I get really involved in those type of things because I just have way too much time on my hands. Not really, that was a joke. But everybody walks up to her, the realtors, I mean, and they start trying to sell her. And then it's my turn to go talk to this lady, or she talks to me. I don't remember how it went, but we started having a conversation, and we talked for about 2 minutes, and she said, so what do you do for a living? And my answer to her was, well, I'm in real estate. I didn't say that I was a realtor. I didn't say that I could buy or sell her house, so if you ever need anything. No, I changed the script. But she knew so much about me, she was curious enough to ask, what do you do for work? Now, at that point, something clicked in my head. All right, why don't I work on selling me first before I tell anybody what I do for work? Because when you're genuinely like trying to have a conversation with people, and you're just trying to be like what's the word I'm looking for? Chatterbug, then people seem to gravitate to you. And with my technology background, I really don't have to fluff up any information like, hey, if I sell your house, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I'm just very transparent. I'm like, look, I'm going to throw it on the MLS. That's the realtor thing. And then, but most importantly, it's going to go on Zillow, and it's going to be the #1 house on Zillow. The only competition you're going to have that's close to it is another one of my listings. That's it. And that's because I do things a little bit different. I see absolutely no value in targeting to marketing to realtors. Why would I do that? So what I do is I target the buyer directly because they're the ones that are making the decision. The realtor's just assisting in them. And the other important thing is I have an amazing team. I have agents right here that have the utmost experience. Everybody on my team is a top 100 agent in Las Vegas, and I can really, really depend on them to do just about anything for me. I mean, I can't think of a single issue or anything that I've had that they have not been able to help me with. So that's been I want to say probably 70% of my success comes from them. Now, the other thing is is you got to have, a system in place. You got to control the situation. So you can't let things get out of hand. You have to control the client. You have to do all these things. And I learned that. And like I said, I can't be any more grateful for my path to this route. But right now it's a prime opportunity, and it breaks my heart seeing my friends that are in real estate and they haven't even logged on to their MLS because they have no business. They keep trying everything that everybody does. Like, hey, here's my card if you need someone to buy or sell a house. And then, like this. I design things. I'm a perfectionist. I work really, really hard to make sure that I stand out because I want to walk up to someone and even this right here, and this is my title here. I'm hold on, let's see if it clears up. Business development manager. So what that entails is essentially building a brand out of nothing because it was a flipping company and they've never really marketed to the general public. So I took their existing brand, I changed colors, I created a interactive website, and I basically made us have a huge online presence. So it's all online right now, and I have a lot of fun, and that's the most important thing. Is I absolutely love what I do because I gotta make sure that people find me before they find somebody else. Because I know that if I get to take care of them, they're going to be very, very, very much taken care of by not just me, my team, transaction coordinator, loan officers, title companies, and let's get into that just a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap it up. When you have in a team, if you join a team, don't just join a team of agents and think, okay, that should be good enough. No, no, no. You got to have lenders. You got to have title reps. You got to have, and I'm meeting with insurance agents this week to kind of start a relationship there. And you just got to have everything because you never know what you're going to need. I had a client and she wanted to purchase something, and instead of being that person to say, oh, you know what, you could buy it, and then I knew that she was wanting to get a divorce. I said, oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, that's not me. So, you know what? I actually know a pretty good divorce attorney. Let me introduce you to, and then kind of get that process going. Now, what did that do to me is it delayed a sale, and I could have possibly lost the sale. But it was much more important for me to be a genuinely good person and, gain her trust than to do anything to monetize it. And to this day, we're gonna go meet up for dinner this week, and it's been beautiful. I got to meet a lot of great people in this industry, and I absolutely love that. Um, all right, let's talk about the thing that you probably clicked on this thing for, money. What is the money like? Well, question is, how much money do you want to make? And yeah, that's essentially that. Uh, I know I had to spend money to make money. My first few months, first probably 4 or 5 months, were basically taking a loss every month on marketing cost and building everything. You had to build a website, so I had instant sales and commission, but that was all going right back in. So you have to invest in yourself. You're running a business. Now, I'm happy to say that after 6 months we're profitable, and I have a meeting on Monday with the team, like a little sales meeting, and then we're going to become even more profitable. So I have a roadmap to success. Now, the first few months were expensive just because we had to build that database. I'm happy to say in less than 8 months, I have over 2,500 leads. So my database is there. I can now start doing what I do best. Oh, excuse me. Get them in front of me. Now, it all has to do with a purpose. I don't care about, just selling or getting paid. I want to make them my customer for life, my client for life. I want to make them my friends. So I ask them what exactly they want, and then I listen. I listen, and I just make sure that they're all taken care of. And you got to be willing to just sometimes give it up. For example, I had some clients and I sold their house and it was fantastic. Now, I know that I had a whole bunch of other stuff I needed to do and they needed to buy a house, and that I wasn't going to have the time that they needed to get them all taken care of. So I handed it off to one of my teammates and said, hey, go ahead and take care of it from there. And, in result, he continues to send us business. And it's a beautiful thing when you can have, that type of rapport with somebody. And yeah, that's a big key to success as well. So anyways, what's the money like? Well, let's say you sell one house per month. National average is, or I'm sorry, Las Vegas average is about $200,000 per house. At a 3% commission rate, that's $6,000. So let's say you do one a month for 12 months, then you're netting $72,000 per year. Now, that's pretty good. And considering the fact that it's only one house that you have to sell per month. That's it. Now, I think I have the capacity to do two houses. I could do that. All right. Now your salary just went up to about almost 150 grand. And that I'm like, wow, that's very doable. So I'm happy to say that right now, my goal for this year is to make between $12,000 and $15,000 per month in money in my pocket. That's my goal. That's where I want to be. So then next year I could prepare myself to get about $30,000 per month. And with those kind of increases, it's very important that you know how to scale. And the other thing is you got to be very determined, and it doesn't come easy. It's you got to always be willing to learn. And this is a people's game. I mean, it's how you deal with people and how you present yourself. It's everything. I could tell you one time I did not get a listing. I got comfortable. I knew that I was the best at marketing, and I could just go up to anyone's house that they wanted to sell and say, hey, I'll sell yours for more. Here's my stats. Here's everything. Just sign on the dotted line. And that's worked. And then I realized I kind of overstepped my boundaries one time from that, and I did not get a listing. The homeowner asked me, you're not even going to walk the house? But in my mind, I already knew exactly what the house could sell for, because I know where the market's at, and I know this and I know that, and I forgot the number one rule: to listen. Right? So that the lack of getting that sale or that listing forever changed me. And then I had to remind myself, humble down, slow it down, don't be closed-minded. If you're closed-minded, how can you expect to adapt? Now, adaptation is huge. I am looking right now, and I'm friends with a lot of realtors on Facebook and other social media accounts, and I could see the ones that are winners. I mean, you could tell right away. There's just something about them, the way that they present themselves, the way that they're actively adapting to the new technology and implementing new strategies. They're going to be just fine. And then you have the others that have their set way of doing business. This is the way I do it. They don't want to invest in a website because a website is BS to them. It's just another method for them to find them. I'm not going to get leads that way. The best leads are sign calls, whatever, and that's fine. They're gonna continue to do business because there's still people that are like that. Now, I like to think a lot more broad. I want to get everybody. So I I very much adapt and I listen and I attend seminars and I continue to learn. And one thing that I'm working on right now is learning how to do portfolio management. So what that is it's taking like a list of people's homes. So this is a particular person that owns 30 homes and getting returns and kind of helping people with their financial goals because that's a bigger opportunity. Just think Costco for what's the word I'm looking for a business owner. So like let's say you have a product. We'll use shampoo. I'd be much happier selling that shampoo to Costco knowing that they're going to do way more volume than selling it to Walgreens. That's just an example. I have no idea how right or wrong that is, but that's kind of the idea of where I'm going with it. Is you want to be able to sell higher quantities, and with portfolio management skills, you're able to do that. And so I'm always adapting and always learning and literally listening to the top producers of the industry. And so I'm telling you my goals, and I want to bring you along my journey. And if you're in real estate right now, do yourself a favor and do what I said about having an open mind. If you go in and you're in a big brokerage with hundreds of agents and you're doing the same strategies as everybody else, how do you expect to make a splash? It's way easier to stand out if you're doing something completely different. And so in the next videos, I'm going to go over marketing strategies and ideas, what I did differently to stand out, how I did it, what I plan on doing. And I know I keep saying it's going to be over, but this time it will be over. Last thing, one of my dreams was to have a startup tech company. I wanted to develop something. I wanted to change and revolutionize something. Well, I'm happy to say that that's happening. I'm working with a whole bunch of creative minds, and we are actively trying to change this industry because we see the opportunity, and that window of opportunity is going to close. And if I don't do it first, somebody else will. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, like. I'm going to teach you everything I know. I want to make you successful. And, most of these strategies can be pretty much reciprocal in most cities. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.